me, I've got a couple of questions, right? I don't understand how. Thank you, Prophet Lovey, for actually pointing this out. How can somebody be having miscarriages upon miscarriages upon miscarriages? Like, I just don't, like, and I'm like, where are you putting these babies? Where are you? If you say that somebody sacrificed their brother for powers, right? And let's say you were there. Because if it was a tumor, this man, okay, his father died when he was 8. And it happens, right? Like, sometimes you may not get a chance to, things happen. So you're telling me an 8-year-old sacrificed his own father? And then his mom passes away, but then she had a good burial. So it was, and she told her son that, look, it's my time to go. So with his brother had a tumor, right? You know, they were bros, living their best life, doing whatever. And then all of a sudden he had a tumor. So how did he sacrifice his own brother for fame? His brother passed away, right? Now my own question is, because I've been going through a lot with my mother, right? And this man, you've seen him cry and shed tears about things like this. Especially when you try and help somebody to say, you know, when you try and help somebody, like, they're going through something, but they just don't survive. They just don't survive. Like, especially somebody you've lived with. And it's painful to say, I don't have immediate siblings, right? But I have like half siblings. And to think of, let's say, having to look like, but I've gone through something similar with my grandma, where I got upset because my grandma passed away and I wasn't happy with the way she passed away. Do you get me? I wasn't happy with the way she passed away. So are you going to tell me that I wasn't happy because nobody really looked after her during her birth? I mean, her daughters looked after her or tried their best, but she died around the time of COVID. So are you going to now say the daughters that looked after her, tried their best, sacrificed their own mother for what? Do you get me? So I think certain people's comments are very insensitive. They're very insensitive. But then this is the question I've had with, like, for example, I've had so many issues with my mother. But because me in the house, I'm a very quiet person and I just keep it pushing. Okay, I've seen my mother have almost full-blown pregnancies, right? And then when she goes to the hospital, she told me before me she had several miscarriages, okay? Right. Then after me, she had a almost like full-blown pregnancies. Near the end, something just happens. So it's been a question because when mom comes home, I don't see her in tears. I don't see her ever crying. When me and my partner, my ex-partner, decided to have an abortion, right? My mother saw me cry for a week because it wasn't by choice. My mother saw me cry for a whole week. I was in bed because I was just like, do you get me? But I'm seeing, okay, you go to hospital, you come back home, there's no tears. I just hear a few weeks later, the baby didn't survive. And I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do with that information? I saw you pregnant. But there were times where I'll just hear a voice say, maybe this baby's not going to survive. And I'll just be like, Ish. But then I'm expecting somebody to be in tears, like, you know what? But then I'm thinking, did they actually die? Is there somewhere where they're putting these babies? Did somebody steal these babies? Did you sell them for money? Because how is it you just go to a hospital, you come back? I get it. Maybe grief is a private thing, but mm, yet, how many times did I see her pregnant? Is it 2 or 3? I'm not sure, but a couple times. And then the other pregnancy, she just, I didn't really want to go hospital with them because it was her new relationship in it. So I wanted to give them their privacy, because I was also dealing with my parents' divorce. I was also dealing with my parents' divorce. So I was like, you know what? They should, because they're the ones that made the baby. Have your privacy to have your privacy so that you get that thing where he said, maybe somebody's eating the babies. Eh. Because I'm just like, what the actual heck? The way you're not where you're not going for your tests. Did the test not tell you, okay, the heart is not beating, this and this and this and this and this and that? It just felt like a blur to me. Like, what the heck? But then when every time I try to step away, it's like, but all the sacrifices are made for you. And it's like, were you sacrificing those babies? Because what? Like, it's just very odd to me. It's just very odd to me. Like, it's just very odd to me. I've never seen this woman sit down and cry. I've never seen, okay, grief is private. Grief is private. You just keep it moving. I'm your daughter, not just a random person in your house. I'm your daughter. You want me to be there with you in hospital, right? But then I'm like, what? I just was it not that deep? Ah, man. I'm like, this man is people are deep. Like, we're out here calling him a wizard and thing, but then it's like, okay, you know, okay, his brother passed away, and it's something that affected him. right? It's something that really affected him. Okay, if grief is private, but then when I'm asking you questions, you're not seeming, do you get me? You've seen me cry over just an abortion, which was less than 3 months. You've seen me not even want to eat, but you keep it moving. Are you all the sacrifices are made for you? And I'm like, are you sacrificing your own fruit of the womb for me? Deep it now.